Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a little bit of bonus content. We have patch notes. You know, I am a huge lover of patch notes. Reading about what's changed in the game. I've skimmed these very gingerly to see what's new in the game, and some of the things I noticed and I actually called out in my baby video. And I'll point those out as I go through, but I am excited to read the 0.2.2 patch notes for Tiny Rogues. They're so huge that it's broken into two separate lists. Insane. Okay. Yeah, due to hitting Steam's character limit, these patch notes split into two parts. Holy. Okay, first, Christmas is over. Unfortunate, but here we are. Added 8 new achievements to celebrate new features and increase build diversity. Ooh, I haven't taken a look at those yet. Pause menu now shows the quest for a class unlock. Oh, and which boss to beat and path to take if your class can unlock a new class. That's really helpful. That's great quality of life. Whenever I forget, I've just had the wiki up of like, oh, this is the character that I want to unlock. Who do I need to play as this person? Which path do I need to go? I usually know the character. I just don't know which path I need to go. So this is super helpful. New reward beyond floor 10 golden cherries grants 10% increased trigger damage. I took that in my baby run. The next one, golden croissant, grants 10% increased companion damage. Interesting. Great for necro. Great for druid. My necro video is dropping tomorrow, actually. Um, Bonfire now only offers to attune your items before a boss. That's true. On floor 1, there's no attunement. I noticed that. Um, the option confused players into thinking they needed to attune in each spawn room. Interesting. Soul pickups are now slightly attracted to the player. That's really nice as well. Just nice little quality of life. You know, the time it takes to drink the flask has been increased from 2 to 1.5 seconds. I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. I noticed that in the baby run. I was like, the baby's drinking very slowly. Each point of mana now only grants 10% more damage with mana draining weapons. Previously 20. Wow, that's pretty significant. That's a significant nerf. Int doesn't grant mana regeneration per point anymore. Wow. Int now grants 2.5% increased stats granted for mana per point. Base mana regen has been increased. Okay, so the mana regen has been increased. That's great. That's really great. I did notice yesterday that the meter was filling up a little bit faster. Golden Stakes now grant 10% increased damage with non-crits, previously 5. That's huge. Increased damage with non-crits is something that I love to take. End game, it just makes you hit so much harder, and now that that damage has been doubled, amazing. Started with simplifying a lot of effect descriptions. I've seen the screenshots on your Twitter. The effect descriptions are now very nice. The HUD now shows stacks of guaranteed attacks in the bottom left. Sweet. Base radius of auras has been reduced. Wow. Okay. But there's probably, yeah, auras had their top end assume infliction damage reduced by 20, but there's probably now more modifiers to like increase aura size or aura damage. So there's got to be a reason why the radius has been lowered. Tipsiness how has a base limit of 3, and it's not affected by heart. Interesting. So it's not about how many red hearts you have anymore. It's 3 flat, and then as you eat cheese or maybe do other things, trait related or gear related, you can up it. I'll have to remember that. Of course, I did not drink booze with the baby. If you saw my baby run that recently dropped, the limit is now shown in the character palace panel. Super helpful too. Cheat console, activating the console in the options menu. If you cheat in a run, it'll disable achievements. Make sure, makes sense. And Steam stats until you restart the game. I've been thinking about doing some stuff in cheat console, but I got to take a look at it, fish around, see if I like it. Power now has strong diminishing returns when approaching and exceeding a value of 100. Wow. Okay. Okay, I was not expecting that, but I understand. Remove the help text for webbed and withered because they were useless. You just notice that you get slowed instead. I mean, the first time, for first time players, I think it's helpful, but beyond that, I understand. Title screen now shows a random splash message. One of those splash messages is about the lemon pepper steppers. I really appreciate that, Ruby Dev. Thank you very much. Cultist altar, blood altars, blood chest now asks you to sacrifice a red heart instead of damaging you. So it's specifically red heart. That that is really important to note because I would always forget. I'd be like, is this going to take a soul heart? Is this going to take armor? Like, I don't know what this is actually going to do. Now it's specific. Explosion damage now penetrates through the armor threshold. Ooh. New aura opacity, orbital opacity, companion opacity. Okay, these are nice. Other quality of life stuff. New instrument sounds option. Ooh. New option to speed up boss death and boss reward animations. I've heard of people saying they don't like how their rewards drop 1, 2, 3, and then sometimes 4. People want it to be faster. They want them all to drop at once. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I totally understand. Trait changes. New traits. Holy. Attack of opportunity. After not attacking for 2.5 seconds, the next attack grants you an attack speed buff. Attack speed buff is 40% more for melee, 20% more for non-melee. That's great. Unforgiving. Now additionally increases the duration of ailments by 100%. Wow. Focus might now stocks up. It's a typo. Now stocks up to 10 guaranteed lethal hits after not attacking for 1 second. Oh, previously made you deal 1 guaranteed lethal hit after not attacking, so you can bank them. That's really cool. Ancestral Aid, base damage from the spirits has been increased by 75% and attack speed by 25%. Yo, I always loved Ancestral Aid. Now those boys are hitting hard. Love it. Brawler now stacks up to 10 power at 10 or 100 power at 10 actors. That's crazy. Also now explains what is considered an actor. That's nice. 100 power at 10. Wasn't it 50 at 5 before? That's crazy. Okay, Goat Force. Cooldown's been increased from 0.25 seconds to 1, but base damage has been doubled and the scaling has been increased. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Goat ability is pretty nice, actually. Holy Fire damage increased by 50%. Duration increased from 4 to 8 seconds. Seeing a lot of buffs. Heavy Draw. Now only half your strength applies to range. Previously all of it. Yeah, that was a little ridiculous. It was a little ridiculous. Blessed Hammer base damage has been doubled and damage scaling has been increased. Yo, so Mjolnir is back on the table, boys. No matter the build, if Mjolnir shows up, look at that. Base damage has doubled. Damage scaling has increased from 35% to 100% per level. Cooldown has been reduced, and the size of the hammer and the hitbox has increased. This is blessings all around. That's amazing. Blunt trauma rephrased description to make it shorter and simpler. Damage scaling has been increased from 50 to 100. Okay, so there's a lot of buffs here. This is telling me that people were having a hard time with the game. Now, I haven't started my Cinder runs yet, but I could understand in those Cinder runs how things could truly get crazy, especially with some of the new bosses that have been added to the Bone Crusher. The Bone Spears and hitbox size increase, removed cooldown. Wow. Okay, no cooldown. Damage scaling has been increased. Wow. Wow. Big buffs. Big buffs. Pack mentality, instead of forcing a minimum roll, now makes your damage roll twice, taking the lower damage roll. Ah. I like that more than just flat minimum. Rage. Melee attacks now grant 2 stacks of rage. Beautiful. Shield bash damage. Base damage has been doubled and damage scaling has increased. So all of these, like, I was going to say, is kick the same? Yeah, kick is the same. So all of these, like, after 5 hits, you kick. After 5 hits, you shield bash. After such and such, a hammer drops, blah, blah, blah. All of those have been buffed. That's great. It means that people were not using them as much as they should, or as much as Ruby Dev would like. They just weren't powerful enough or appealing enough, and now they're spicy. Okay, Overwhelming Presence now grants increased effective buffs per equip load capacity point above 100. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. It was per point. It was effective debuffs per point on you. Now it's buffs per point above 100. Wow. Power's power now makes power also grant 1% increase effective debuffs previously buffs. Oh, so these like swapped. Interesting. Okay, Dex. Exit strat makes so when you inflict maximum stacks of poison, you recover all stam and refresh the duration of all poisons. Ugh, good God, Dex poison is nasty. Spellblade now works for all melee instead of just sword. Thank God, man. There's so many different weapon types that this only applying to sword made it just kind of like, I have to stick to this one type of melee weapon. It was a little rough. Call of the Week is now a more multiplier to damage. Previously, it was an additive increase to damage. Interesting. Rogue's reliability now guarantees 10 critical hits on the target. Oh my god. 10 crits. 10 lucky hits. These are crazy buffs. These are crazy buffs, but happy I ain't started my Cinder runs yet. These buffs are gonna help me win them Cinder runs, baby. All right, precision now stocks up 10 guaranteed critical hits after not attacking for 1 second. Yeah, cheap shot now makes lucky hits always deal super effective damage, and the buff now grants 100% increased trigger damage instead of secondary attack damage. Yo, man, these are some great changes. These are great. Makes me want to jump into the game right now. If this wasn't such a football heavy weekend, I'd be in there right now. Trigger Mania, man. Whoa, Grenadier, hold on. Base damage was reduced by 30%. But now it throws 3 grenades. Damage scaling has been increased. Aiming of the grenades has been slightly improved. That's really nice. Aiming needs to be improved. Okay, they reduced the damage because there's 3 grenades and the scaling has increased. I get it. I get it. Grenadier needs love. Conductor. Lightning Conductor cooldown reduced to 0.2 seconds. Previously 0.25. Damage scaling has been increased. Nice. The scaling changes are so huge. It really benefits you if you get something early in the game, right? It has a longer life throughout your run. And it's not just like super effective early on and then kind of an afterthought when you're on floors, 8 through 12. Spoiler alert, there is a floor 11 and 12 if you're not there yet. I'm sorry. Like clockwork, cooldown reduced. Nice. Mana Forge Bolt's damage scaling has increased. Yo. Raise morale. Now only makes you, should be lose, half your stacks on taking damage. Previously all stacks. Now grants 10 power per stack. Previously 10% increased damage and increased companion damage. Sharpshooter, due to the mark changes trait, returns to guaranteeing lethal hits when triggering a mark at far range. Dynamo, that takes 5 steps to trigger up from 2 steps. Interesting. Okay, int. When we go in, we go stupid. Here we go. New trait. Mana Beacon makes mana grant companion damage if you have drained mana recently. Glass Cannon can't appear from Obsidian Dice. What? No. Now grants 20 power per soul heart. Previously 10. That's insane. Because, in order to... It still has a limit of 10. What were the odds that you were going to get 10 soul hearts to get to 100? That's crazy. 5 soul hearts makes a lot more sense, especially with Sorcerer. Even with Sorcerer, 5 is good, right? You're going to take a little bit of damage in your runs. So, Arcane Familiar base damage more than doubled, and attack speed more than doubled. I always liked Arcane Familiar. I wasn't really concerned with his base damage. Just like the mana rewards that he gave. Instead, we are getting a significant buff of that familiar, and I'm not mad. Cast on crit is now called Pocket Magic. That makes sense. And the damage penalty of 25% has been removed. Okay, this is apparently even better. Cold Blood now makes Chill apply 25% chance to take a critical hit. Previously made Chill increase damage over time taken. Combustion, damage scaling increase. Discharge, drain threshold is now 1 instead of 0. Base top end damage has been increased, though, and damage scaling has been increased. Okay, so nerf that to buff the second part. Got it. Elemental Focus, rephrase description slightly, and additionally grants 100% increased ailment duration now. Ooh. Vision Quest reworked. Now periodically spawns a Mana Star and makes picking up a Mana Star trigger your on-combat start effects. These are spicy, dude. I gotta test this stuff out. Base top end damage has been increased by 60, and damage scaling has been increased from 35. Wow. Static blows, man. Old static blows, new static blows. Amazing. Inspiring Presence now additionally grants 10 power per companion you have. Okay, now, with all this power-related stuff and all these buffs to power, I see how you can go over 100 power. I get it now. Nature's Boon. Base damage has been increased by 50%. Damage scaling has been increased from 30% to 100% per. So much scaling. This is the scaling update. And I love it. Huge for insight. Ice Conjuration, base damage has been doubled and scaling has increased from 30. Oh, man. 100. Projectile spread and delay have been... Okay, projectiles now infinite range, coast to coast. Cooldown reduced from 0.25 to 0.1. Holy Hex Touch. Hex is now less specific and double the effect of all debuffs, not just vulnerability, fragility, and stability. Okay, Esper traits. Esper traits, Esper traits. Papa stuff, base damage from the companions has been doubled. Tried those bad boys out, they nasty. Base damage has been increased by 20%, damage scaling oh. Now take the companion, also great. Oh, Sonic Blast damage scaling has been increased. Ooh, the baby is crazy, dude. The baby is such a powerful character. Damage scaling has been increased from, oh my god. Oh, cooldown reduced from 0.5 to 0. Cyborg, I played him in the beta, haven't played him since. Lightning Nova or damage scaling has been increased. Photon Blaster Augment damage scaling has been increased. Now triggers periodically every 2.5 seconds, previously every 2. Okay, so with the scaling, they had to nerf this a little bit. And then Bomb Factory Augment now grants infinite bombs. Dude, infinite bombs, what? Generic equipment changes. Some items that are mainly meant for strength users have had their equipment load weight increased. Okay, some items that sustain themselves in equip load have had their weight increased. Megan Lard, Goliath Greaves. Some items had their equip load weight lowered. Specific item changes. Okay. Okay. Bomb radius. Reduced bomb explosion delay. Wow, so they pop faster. So bigger radius pop faster, and then there's something that allows you to have infinite bombs. So you can go full bomb run. Full bomb build in this. Plus 4 second duration to mana flux. 100% increased effect. 25% increased aura tick rate. Ooh. I gotta get back into my aura bag. I love auras. Increased chance of luck taking effect. Increased chance of wow. 100% increased chance of luck taking effect is nasty. 4 second to mana burnout. Increased damage while in mana burnout. Wow. Wait. Grants plus 4 seconds to mana burnout. Oh, so mana burnout being a good thing. Running out of mana for a longer period of time because you get buffed 30%. Oh, okay. Puppeteer. Zealot. 10% attack speed. Periodical tick rate. Warlock Hood and Gloves I used last time. Very nice. I used those in the baby run, I believe. Conjure Hood, companion damage, companion attack speed. Dude, I want to see my pets go absolutely crazy. Fletching Hat, Fletching Quiver, Shaman Mask, Totem Talisman, increased effect of nettles, Cultist Hood, Cultist Lantern. Interesting. Okay, how much more is there for this update? Holy brother. All right, all right, all right. Let's go through these. Man, this is, oh my God, this is just part 1 of the update. Hopefully part 2 is shorter than this. Jeez. All orb offhand items now grant between 20 to all? Oh my God. Mana orb now recovers 1 mana on completing a rotation. Ah. Increases mana regen. Increase mana regen. Increase mana regen. Int just seems to have reached a new level, which is crazy because int is already so good. Now cycle through granting instead of granting a random minor. Oh. So it cycles like while you're in the floor, it'll just keep changing instead of being room to room. Valkyrie now only adds lightning damage to melee and range. Oh, it doesn't do it for all. That's a blow to the Int community. Thief Gloves now 5 crit chance, previously 5 dex. I don't know. I liked the 5 dex on them, but it is what it is. 10% crit chance against enemies affected by a dot. Same effect as the gloves. Oh, so it's 20. They have a dot on them. So if they have a poison on them, you get 20% increased crit chance. That's nice. Laser Knuckles, now rare, previously uncommon. Base damage increased by 25%. Croc Ring, 5 ruthless hits after dash. 5 super effective, 5 lucky, 5 crit, 5 crushing, previous one. Huge buffs. Carnage Loop, now epic, previously legendary, now triggers on kill on taking damage effects every 8 seconds, previously 10. It's purple, not legendary anymore. Interesting. Crystal Surge, now 100%. Okay, so I'm seeing just tons of buffs. Like, buff, buff. Oh, these have been downgraded significantly. They were legendary and now they're rare? Wow. Remove the condition of having to stand still? Okay. Now doesn't break. This broke before? I don't remember that. Interesting. 1 to 10 gold protected from a curse. 35% increased stam recovery. 0.1 mana drain. Okay, these are wait. Solving Rubik's Cube now grants +1 dex scaling, previously +1 luck. I don't know if that's better in my mind. I don't know if the luck is better or the +1 dex scaling. Actually, the +1 dex scaling. Because it gives you instant, because that continues to help you throughout the run as you continue to pick up decks. Now this is only 10 rooms to attune instead of 20. Thank you. 20 was a lot. That's a lot. That's a huge commitment, especially because some rooms don't count for attunement, like shops. Yeah, it was a huge commitment. Hando Blood, Hando Acid. There's just so many crazy changes here. Okay. Instead of me going down an itemized list of all of these, I see the direction that the game is going in, and here's what I want to say, right? Based on what I'm seeing here, with all of the scaling changes and all of the damage increase changes, a couple things come to mind, right? Like now grants 50%, previously 25, 50%, previously 25. In my mind, I'm playing this game and I'm hitting pretty damn hard. But like I said, I've played the game an insane number of hours at this point, and in addition to that, haven't done the high cinder stuff. So I'm thinking this is to accommodate that higher end part of the game. Now I know this update is very recent, like Heaven and Hell update is very recent. But with that being said, I can't help but wonder, are these changes not just for the future of the run progression, right? Cinders 1 through 16. But are they not also a little bit of a precursor to the next expansion that's coming? I don't know if I'm thinking too far ahead. I might be thinking too far ahead. I might be just. But when I did my last patch note video, and a lot of new things were added to the game, like the healing vials, and reduce costs on certain things to get done, I was like, okay, these are survivability additions because the game is going to get harder. And it took months and months and months, no disrespect, Ruby Dev, it took months and months for the update to finally come, and I was like, this is what I was talking about, right? The game now is much harder than it was before. Seeing all of these buffs for damage and armor sets and things like that. Wait, what did that say? Grants infinite bombs in the set. Holy smokes. Okay, I'll go over all these. And then we'll continue on to part 2 and see what part 2 is looking like. But I can't help but think this might be a little hint, a little tease as to what's to come in Tiny Rogues. And it makes me excited because I want the game to get harder. I want the game to get more challenging. I want there to be more to do. There's already so much to do. Please don't think that by me saying that I think that I've run out of things to do. There's like infinite possibilities in this game, truly. But yeah, I'm starting to think that this is like already planting the seed for the future. Okay, let's look at these sets. Dark Moon Covenant makes each stack of gloom make the enemy take additional dark damage from cursed hits. I like that. Infinite Bomb set is crazy. That's crazy. 50 powerful mana flux is crazy. See, this is what I was talking about. I was like, I'm seeing some aura nerfs. There's gotta be another side of these aura nerfs. There's gotta be something else, you know, like. And that said, yeah, I want to do a set where I just have auras on and I have no weapon in my hand. I'm just unarmed, just walking into rooms, arms crossed, and mobs just approach me and die. That's what I want. +3 luck, nice. 100% crit chance during mat. Whoa. Percent modifiers to companion damage also affects you. Oh. Tally of 5 primary attacks. Advances periodical effects by 1 second. Oh. Makes mana grant additional necrotic. Nice. +2 companion limit. Bow and crossbow attacks shoot additional arrows. Oh. Nature damage inflicts vuln. I like that. And then self-sacrifice increased effective buffs while missing a heart. I like that too. Okay. What's part 2 looking like? How long is part 2? Oh my god. Okay. He's going crazy. I told you guys, dude. I told you guys. Okay, let's look at the room changes. New bow sold. Champagne increases companion damage. Okay, so companions have been getting a lot of love too, right? Which I understand. Companions were just added with Heaven and Hell update. People were playing them. People were saying companions are a little light. They're a little soft, right? So we got some things to help it. Give your dog, give your wolf a little glass of champagne, a little Veuve Clicquot, okay? If you're cheap, a little Martini and Rossi Asti. I think they make a champagne or a Brut, whatever you want. New NPC, the Princess Sells Fairy Tales branches. I saw that update on Twitter. Storm in a Bottle has been reduced to 30. I'm the cheese master. I'm gonna be buying so many Storm in a Bottles, just cheesing my way through the game. The nurse now only heals and refills your flask once per tavern visit. That makes sense. Black market entrance in the tavern now locks up again after staying overnight. That's crazy that you gotta keep dumping keys into this. Huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. Leviathan Room, all options now cost 5 souls, previously 10. Thank you. Recovery option now also refills flasks. The riches option grants 25 gold, and a random item option can't give consumables anymore. Okay. Gambler Ghost event doesn't cost souls anymore. Old Hag event, the hoodie now comes attuned because it's likely you don't have time to attune it before the boss. Exactly. Exactly. Demolitionist Dwarf Shop can now sell the new bomber set. Let's go. New bomber set, new bomber set. I am excited. I am excited. Okay, okay. Consumable changes. New consumable. New consumable. New consumable. New consumable. Okay. Storm Bottle now triggers 4 times per second. It's buffed and cheaper and damage scaling. Oh my god. I'm cheesing, dude. I'm buying so many. I'm walking in the room full of Storm in a bottles. It is what it is. Wine now grants 25% increased damage. Oh. 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 Cheese can be sold. You don't want to go booze styles. You can sell cheese. Oh, can be sold in shops, not can be like sold back, like pawn. Okay, 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 okay. Gift boxes now contain cheese instead of wine. Thank you. The baby should not be having wine. New ailment, nettles. Effective debuffs applied by nature. The base duration of bleed, burn, and poison have been increased. Let's go. Base duration 8 to 16. 4 to 8. Oh my god. Yeah, this is something's coming. Something's happening. Something's happening. I hate to break it to you, but something's happening. These are some crazy buffs. Now on reaching 5 stacks on a normal enemy or 10 stacks on a boss, breaks all armor. I had this happen yesterday and I didn't realize what was going on. I broke a boss's armor and the whole armor bar just went away. Insane. Necrosis doubled. Insane. These are insane. Like, there's just buffs going on all over the place. Meta perk. Bulk seller now only grants 1 gold per consecutive item sold and caps out at 10. Okay. New meta perk. Pandora's boxes replaces giving up, and instead of increasing Rarity of legendary weapons now makes you gain 2.5% magic find when you open a treasure chest up. Oh, like that. Worth of a Soul now makes blacksmith upgrade cost 5. Oh, we need this. We need that. Pay 5 souls for a blacksmith upgrade instead of 20 gold? Kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're in there. A little nerf on that's fine. That's fine. Mixed bag now also reduces price of an item by 25% while swapping the currency. Ebb and flow been removed, is now a cinder modifier. Look at that. Smash and grab is now at the position ebb and flow was. Gotta look at that. Quick recovery is now split from first aid and in the position that smash and grab was. Okay, so things moved around. World of Hurt makes blood chest and blood altars 30% more common. Why would I want? Actually, blood altars sometimes give some savage rewards. Can't lie. Remote guardians, automatons now aren't healed and don't respawn. They heal now? Oh, they always did. They always did. If you didn't kill them in phase 1, they would just like be back to their normal self in phase 2. Instead, the automatons now start to repair themselves after not taking damage for 2.5 seconds. Oh, so you got to keep the heat on them. Got you. Pestilence now makes some enemies infested. Infested enemies have increased durability and explode into maggots. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I do not deal with this. Previously made poison reduce your movement and stamina recovery speed. This was the easy sender. Now, this creepy shit. God damn it. Unjust incentive. Spiky doors now been turned into muncher doors. Hey, yo, muncher doors require feeding a red heart. Cannot be bombed. Yikes. So cinders are harder. I'm reading this and they're harder. Encumbered is ill-equipped. You start out with -2 inventory slots. In the tavern randomly, there can be an old hag NPC which can repair an inventory slot for 10 souls. The old hag, I love you. On death's door, removed. Doing a fail, removed. New. Adds 30% chance that enchanted enemies are enchanted with an additional defensive modifier. Instead of making enemies always double enchantments, now gives 70% chance to add an additional secondary modifier. Ebb and Flow is a new Cinder modifier, previously a meta perk. It makes it so early floors have fewer rooms, but later floors have more rooms, giving you less chance to ramp up before entering the mid into pro. Oh no. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Some bosses have the duration of their initial message. When the battle starts reduced, troll from 2 to 1, makes the fight start quicker. All mimics have their health and armor increased. Ooh, Eden, Aemon, and Primal Death had their health and armor increased. Primal Death did seem kind of chonky. Oh no, did I Primal Death with the baby? I think I Aemoned with the baby. I threw the baby to hell. I can't remember. Video just came out. I can't remember. Floor 11 and 12 enemies had their health and armor increase. Wow. Increased pacing, including bosses. Reduce wait times. Okay, the Archpontiff and the Kingsguard had their health and armor increased by roughly 20%. Okay. I noticed these resistances. I was like, what the hell is this? Crit resistance? Didn't like that. But these make the game spooky. Intense situation guards the new boss added in 0.2.0. This means some bosses will deactivate enchantment effects and automatons in certain attack phases. Weapons now spawn spread out in the room border, but are indicated. Also, their health and armor have been roughly halved. Okay. Possessed weapon nerf. Airstrike, drop rate, and explosion radius nerf. Battery nerf. Battery can't appear on bosses anymore. Bone enchanted. Projectile now has a red outline. I mean, I don't know. Eh, eh. Oktoberfest, pretzels now have a red outline and are white. I could see them before. I didn't need the outline. Totem enchantments made a slew of visual changes, make them stand out more. Increase their projectile sizes and added indicator sounds. They also have quite a bit more health, but spawn a lot less frequently. Okay. Molten, Nerf, Glaive. This is more of an awareness thing. I understand in the grand scale of bullet hell, you want people to have better awareness of these things that are attacking them. I get it. Add an indicator sign when missiles spawn, add a red outline. Okay, okay. Gift. Damage doubled on radio. Replenishes quicker. Soul Scarf now only grants a soul heart when you recover heart gas. 30 gold instead of 35. Nerf. 5 gold, 5 bombs instead of 6. Nerf. 3 charges and enchant your weapon with poison modifier instead of granting an infusion for 10 rooms. Wow. Tent is now a charm and recovers 2 hearts on entering a floor. That's great. Now permanently grants 20% mana refund instead of 15. That's great. Now only contains 3 red, previously 4, bringing the granted. Nerf the dice case. How could you? I run 3 keys anyway. It is what it is, boys. All orbital damage has been massively increased. Thank you. Orbital damage now scales up to 5 times damage at max level, previously 4. Thank you. Okay, these are enemy change or companion changes. Companion descriptions have been revamped. I saw the new descriptions. They're great. Companion damage now scales up to 5 times damage at max level, previously 4. They can catch up to enemies about 30% faster. Okay, so pets in general, companions in general, facelift, huge facelift. I'm seeing buffs here. Buffs, 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 buffs. This is great. It's great. I don't need to go through all of them. But they are more worthwhile now. I was just at one point just looking for the zombie one because I was like, I just want more damage dealt to bosses and I don't really care about anything else, right? Like all the other ones I was like, eh. So yeah, much better. Weapon changes. Flails and Bibles now only convert orbital speed at 25% value to attack previously 50. All boomerang and chakram weapons have their damage buff. Nice. I love Doomerang. I haven't seen it in a minute. Leviathan Axe base damage increased. This was already crazy. I don't know if we needed all that. Octashot crossbow now rare. Previously uncommon. Base damage reduced, but and attack speed reduced. Wow. Phoenix base damage for Phoenix been doubled. Wow. Unstoppable is now a normal enchantment, previously legendary. Huh? Now normal. 20% crit chance on guns. Crit damage. Bolt. Arcane enchantment now scales inverse with Mystic's effect, meaning the mana drain bonus halves instead of doubling. Okay. Base movement speed from Necro and Chaos have increased from 6.5 to 7. I didn't realize they were slower. Okay, and then we have fixes. Fix meta perk. Okay, how many fixes do we have? We have a ton of fixes. Okay. I'm not going to go through all the fixes. It's fine. If you're interested in the fixes, they're here. You can read them. I was more concerned with just going through and seeing the general direction that the game is going in. And I spoke on it a little bit when I was going over part 1, and now going over part 2, I feel the same. Huge damage buffs, huge pet buffs, a lot of quality of life. And yeah, just a smoother experience, in my opinion, for people who are going to be running the Cinders, people who are going to be doing more end-game content, which is wonderful, right? We want to make the game as accessible as possible to people. We don't want Cinder 5 to be just like backbreakingly difficult where people are like, I can't do this. Even with them having like friggin' talent point that they can put in, you don't want it to be impossible, right? You don't want it, even with having like meta perks, you don't want it to be impossible for people to do this stuff. So yeah, I guess the main thing that I want to pass along is that I think something's coming. I think there's going to be a significant change in the game in the next updates, in the next expansions, I should say. The game's going to get a lot more complex and a lot more smooth. It'll be a lot more refined. As you can see from 0.2.0 to here in 0.2.2, a lot of refinement, a lot of smoothing. It's reading through these, the updates make sense, but I will say that this is planting the seed for something greater. And last but certainly not least, I want to know what all of you think. What do you think about these updates? What do you think about this patch? I think it's a great path forward, but I really want to know about which things you want to see changed, or which things you think we're missing, or which things you think are overpowered now or underpowered. Let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing it all. Um, yeah, in the meantime, I hope you enjoy. This was my patch notes breakdown. I'm excited for this game, man. To have a developer that cares this much about their title, that is already successful but continues to be more successful, is great. So many times we get titles that early access wise don't get a lot of updates. They get one major update per year and then just no bug fixes or anything like that in between. So appreciate this game while it's here, and take a look at these patch notes and let me know what you think. Can't wait to see you on the comments section. And this was a little bit of a bonus episode for all of you. I know I do videos every other day, but I wanted to throw this in as well because this is huge, right? We didn't get patch notes for 0.2.0 because it was an overhaul of the game. So now that we're in 0.2.2, I wanted to make sure that I brought something to you guys. So next video dropping is going to be Necro. That's going to drop the day after this video drops. And yeah, in the meantime, I will see you there. Thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I truly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500 subs. You can be a part of that if you're not already. And yeah, if you haven't seen any of my old content, please check it out. I release a Tiny Rogues video every other day. So you know who it is. Yeah, it's KB, you know me, and I'll catch you. Peace.